Another day in World Cup qualifying and another huge win for Team Melli, the national team of Iran. We've got highlights and analysis from Iran's easy victory over Cambodia, and of course, we'll be previewing the showdown between Iran and Iraq. You know the deal, and you know what time it is. It's time for Team Melli Talk. I think it's safe to say that Team Melli obviously had a good training session ahead of the match against Cambodia. It obviously also reflects on the score. And before we begin, remember, if you are in need of some Iran shirts, jerseys, polo shirts, equipment, make sure you check out the Instagram page, iran.jersey. They've got everything you need. And also, you can use the code TM15 to get 15% off any items that are not currently on sale. Like I said, once again, check them out, iran.jersey. First thing is first, let's start with the starting lineup. There will be some changes for this game. Obviously, we could not be surprised. In goal, Amir Abidzadeh. Only change with the center backs, Mortaza Pourali Ganji starting over Hossein Kanani. As for the midfielders, Ahmad Nurlahi, Samana Godus, and Saeed Izzatullahi. Obviously, it was really great to see Godus and Izzatullahi in the starting lineup. And up top, Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh, Mehdi Tarmi, and Ali Golizadeh. Let's get right to the highlights. You know, at the beginning, I think it's safe to say that there were many Team Melli fans that were not very happy and they were getting a little impatient. But then again, the sky is also blue, but the scoring finally came in the 16th minute of play. Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh was fouled in the penalty area, and he stepped up to take the kick himself. And he made no mistakes, giving Iran a 1-0 lead. 6 minutes later, a corner kick from Ali Golizadeh, headed home by Shoja Khalilzadeh, his first ever goal for Team Melli. Obviously a great moment for the center back. 5 minutes later, Mehdi Tarmi taking a beautiful pass from Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh and making no mistake as he fires his ball home to put Iran in a commanding 3-0 lead. A good run and good move from left back Milad Mohammadi. Obviously he was looking to cross it here, but what happens? A gift from Cambodia as it is an own goal. Iran extending the lead to 4-0. And in fact, Iran had a chance to make it 5-0 before the interval. Mehdi Tarmi brought down in the penalty area by the Cambodian keeper, but Saeed Izzatullahi fires his shot off the crossbar. Obviously a little bit of disappointment for Saeed Izzatullahi, but at the same time, Iran still had a 4-0 lead at the half. Milad Mohammadi obviously was playing the role of provider late in the first half, but this time, after receiving a pass from Mehdi Gaidi, Milad Mohammadi makes no mistake in putting the ball between the legs of the Cambodian keeper to make it 5-0 for Iran, and also his first ever goal for Team Melli. 6 minutes later, a corner kick from Saman Godus, headed home by Mortaza Pourali Ganji. Both center backs getting on the score sheet today. Next, in the 77th minute, the scoring would continue for Iran. Mehdi Gaidi brought down in the penalty area, but this time it was Karima Ansari Fard who would take the kick from the spot and made no mistakes. 3 minutes later, a cross from Moharami finished off nicely from the head of Kaveh Rezai. Iran now extending the lead to 8-0. And 4 minutes later, we would see another goal from Iran. Saman Godus involved once again, finding Mehdi Gaidi and the speedy little winger putting this ball into the roof of the net to make it 9-0 for Iran. In the 87th minute, the ball finds its way to Karima Ansari Fard. He sends a cross over towards Kaveh Rezai, and Kaveh Rezai is able to slot the ball home to make it 10-0 for Iran. What a victory. 10 goals. Remember, let's not forget the previous meeting between the two teams, Iran won 14-0. So I think it's safe to say that Cambodia probably does not want to play against Iran anytime soon. Now, when breaking things down, a 10-0 win for Iran. Honestly, what more needs to be said? You know, I don't think there was anything to really be bothered about. Yes, there are some fans that will still find things to be nitpicking at, but we know this is the way it goes with the sport. You're always going to have some fans that are a little unsatisfied, in all honesty. But like I said, a 10-0 win, and the only player on the night that had more than one goal was Kaveh Rezai. So he definitely took advantage of his opportunity to play. And also, looking back At the preview to this match, there was a lot of speculation on what kind of lineup would be used by head coach Dragan Skocic, and for the most part it was a majority first team squad. Yes, some changes as well were made, but that was expected. We want to see some of our top players like Sardar Azmoun get a rest, and he did get a rest on the whole night. I'm sure he probably wasn't that happy about it because he knows he would have really added to his goal tally for Team Melli. Now when it comes to Iran and Iraq, I'm going to be focusing on World Cup qualifiers played outside of Iran because obviously this game coming up on June 15th will be played in Bahrain. Back in 1993 for World Cup 94 qualifying, Iraq came away with a 2-1 win. Nearly 8 years later, Iran did score a 2-1 victory over Iraq in Baghdad. And let's not forget, in November of 2019, remember, that match was played in Amman, Jordan, and it was Iraq that came away with a 2-1 victory on a late goal. And you know, for some reason, it seems as if the score 2-1 is very popular whenever Iran plays Iraq. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now, what about keys to this victory? You know, what does Iran have to do to win? I've got 3 important keys. Let's take a look. First, keep cool. We know the Iraqi players might try and get underneath the Team Melli player's skin. They got to be smart, and that's why for the second key, got to stay focused. And as for my third key, lots of Godus. This is really important to me. Sabmane Godus is an excellent player for Iran, a great attacking midfielder. He's very smart. When he's in the game, Iran's offense looks just so much better. Everyone seems like they know what they're doing. They're all in sync when he's playing. So that's why I really mean it when I say, gotta see lots of Godus. And now when going back to the starting lineup, I'll be honest, I think there's a lot of Team Melli fans that are a little concerned and wondering when they saw that Saman Godus and Saeed Ezzatullahi started against Cambodia, it probably brought up this thought such as, are we going to see these 2 players come off the bench against Iraq? And I clearly do not want to see that. I don't think it's a good idea. A lot of us were not very happy with Dragan Skocic's starting lineup against Bahrain. Yes, they ended up winning 3-0, but we are not very thrilled with that starting lineup. This time around against Iraq, there is no room for experimenting or tinkering with the lineup. Iraq is a much better team than Bahrain, and Dragan Skocic really needs to put his best lineup on the pitch when Iran faces Iraq. Now, when comparing the 2 head coaches, I'll be honest. I'll give the nod to head coach of Iraq, Srećko Katanec. He has more experience than Skocic. But in order for Skocic to come out successful and win this chess match against Katanec, all Dragan Skocic has to do is put the best players on the field, because we know Iran has a better team than Iraq, and this is a game Iran must win and should win. Now, what about you? What do you think are the keys to beating Iraq? Leave a comment down below. Always looking forward to getting your input. Thank you everybody for joining us on this edition of Team Melli Talk. As always, really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website, www.teammelitalk.com. Remember, this is your best source for the latest news on Team Melli, the national team of Iran. You know where to find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know the handle, @Team Melli Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification button. See you on the next edition of Team Melli Talk. And of course, good luck to our boys, Team Melli. You can do this. Remember, you're playing for Iranians all over the world.